Hey, good morning, everybody. Jimmy Cotty here with the Georgia Ready Mix Concrete Association, and we're back for another Zoom chat with a good friend of ours from the industry, Mr. Kerry Miller with McNeilus. And Kerry is the Senior Director for Sales for McNeilus. He's been there for almost 33 years now, and he's just been a great friend to us at the GRMCA, and has recently decided to dip a toe into the political waters himself and is making a run for local school board over in the West Georgia town of Carrollton. And I just thought we would take a few minutes and catch up with Kerry and see how he's doing, and maybe hear a little bit about his bid for office. So, Kerry, why don't you introduce yourself and we'll get to work here.
Hey, thank you, Jimmy. Good morning, everybody. I'm Kerry Miller, and as Jimmy said, I'm with McNeilus Companies. We manufacture concrete mixers. I had the good fortune of growing up in Villa Rica, Georgia, and then in 1977, McNeilus located their southern branch there. I was in the 5th grade, so I had no idea what was going on. I didn't know what a concrete mixer was. As soon as I got out of college, I'd been working with McNeilus a few years, kind of doing courier stuff during the summers and those kind of things. And I had the good fortune going to work for them in October of 1987. It was a unique time in our industry. There's been a lot of changes. And at that point in time, a lot of independence and that kind of thing in this industry. But I got in on the ground floor as a young guy and watched this industry grow and evolve. As I said, I've been here, October will be 33 years. I'm married to the former Marcia Shin for 30 years this August. And so all she knows about my life is ready mix. We have 3 adult children, Brittany, Brandon, and Brooke. 2 of them have already completed their undergrad and gone on to in the business world. And then our youngest daughter, Brooke, will be a junior at University of West Georgia in the fall. So just been a great time. And we've seen a whole lot go on within our company and with our industry. Just a growing process during that time.
That's awesome, Kerry. I know you've been around a lot. Just tell us a little bit about your involvement with the industry. I know you've served on numbers of boards, both locally and nationally, and just maybe tell us a little bit about some of the things you've seen happen, and then also just I know the Georgia Association is a little bit near and dear to your heart, being here in your own backyard, and I'd love to hear a little bit about your involvement and some of the evolution you've seen with the Georgia Ready Mix Concrete Association too.
Going back and talking about the associations, and if I think about this industry, it's a big fraternity, if you will. And let's just face it, it really boils down to, it's really a small industry in a sense, but it boils down to people. Early on in my career, I found out about all the associations, and it was always stressed upon us that we would be good partners in each and every association, and certain national ready mix as well. So along about, I guess, 1990, I kind of graduated up, and they said, Kerry, you're going to get to go to this place called Ponte Vedra with Georgia Concrete. And little did I know, it was an oasis down in Jacksonville. It's funny, now my children are all grown. My son was in 9th grade before he realized that everybody didn't go to Ponte Vedra every summer because they were kind of raised there. While the surroundings were good, as I think about Georgia Concrete, I think about people. I think about the leadership, certainly like you, Jimmy, and the folks that work there in there every day. But I think about former leaders that were mentors to me. The first president that or chairman, if you will, that I knew was Mike Kennedy. He was chairman before I came here, but he was so good to me at an early age. And they treated me like I was somebody. I was a 21-year-old kid going to work here. And yet then all of a sudden I'm doing business deals with all these folks. I think about Bobby Hopkins, and Greg Harrell, and Doug Walker, and Buddy Pitter. We could go on and on. And those were all these independent companies. I know I'll leave somebody out, Gus Pursley, Chris and Richard Davis, all these guys, Scott Morgan, throughout in and around Atlanta that have been and are good friends of mine. And then I think about the bigger companies, going in and the multinationals, Johnny Center and The first person I dealt with who had been the chairman, Ray Easton, back in the Blue Circle days. I'm a 25-year-old kid, and I go in to do deals with him. The thing that amazed me all about all those types of folks and leading up to today is when they came together at Georgia Concrete, there was a common good, whether you ran 10 trucks. I think about Don Barfield. He was our chairman and a really good one. Small producer. Yet they all look to the common good. And when we look at it that way, we think about not only the present, but the future. And I think about a lot of the accomplishments that were made and have been made. You know, there was a time when there was a lot of, you know, companies being bought out, and then other states had gone to dual associations. There'd be one for the larger companies and one for the independents. Georgia, in their wisdom and through the continual leadership, they avoided all that. And today, I think we're able to really, really maximize on a lot of stuff that's beneficial to all. I'm reminded of things that have been done, certainly back in the days, all the promotion that goes on. But then I think about back to, I don't know, 2003, 2004, the first weight law change that was done through some folks. Chris Davis was one that really spearheaded that, and others, and went around the state with all the legislatures and really got that done to give us over an extra yard of concrete per load. And when you think about and multiply that out by the number of trucks, it's an equal opportunity based on scale for everybody, which we enjoy to this day. And then I think of a lot of the other lobbying, certainly that you've done, that has gone on to really increase that, the stuff with the DOT and getting an understanding there where we can haul the same amounts there and those kind of things. So there's been the insurance where, you know, the cooperative stuff with that. But the thing that always amazed me is everybody's come together for the common good, no matter if they're competing with one another or not. And I think that the thing that Georgia's done is know that, hey, there's other competitors out there that are not in this industry. And there's other products that people can choose. And it's just always seemed like a family to me, whether it be the producer members or the associate members. And it's helped mold my career.
That's great to hear, Kerry. There's a lot of names that take me back. I've had the pleasure of working with some of those guys you mentioned. Some of them were a little before my time too, but I always enjoy hearing stories about them. Shifting gears a little bit, you know, you kind of ended on a note of advocacy and sort of some of the political activities we've been involved with, and just following you on social media. I know you're a big supporter of your local Villa Rica Wildcats. You're a big booster out there in terms of pulling for the local teams in the communities, and it's really cool to see. And you've kind of taken a step forward and decided to throw your hat in the ring and run for local school board. Just tell us what kind of compelled you there, and tell us a little bit how that's going.
It's been quite interesting, really, Jimmy. And, you know, I have to start off that my life has been about my family, my faith. I'm really strong in my church, and I make no apologies that, hey, the Lord has led me. And so I'm really involved in our local church, First Baptist Church. My family, I've raised my family there, and so I work, I spend time there. And then my other passion is I love football, I love high school football, and I love kids. And so we've really, as a family, given back to the schools, local schools, Villa Rica. I went there. My mother graduated there in 1960, and even my grandfather started the Villa Rica schools in 1907 as a first grader. So it's just been our life. And now had three children graduate from there. So to say that the schools, and we had choices, but we sent our kids there to the Villa Rica public school system, which is part of Carroll County school system. And it's always been a blessing to me. I went to school with a lot of the teachers, and, you know, so my kids couldn't get away with a whole lot. And so if you identify Kerry Miller, you would think McNeilus. And I'm proud of that. You know, when people think McNeilus, they're going to think Kerry. And I'm if you know me, that makes me really happy, or they're going to think Villa Rica. I'm a Villa Rica boy. And so I had a number of people approach me about the upcoming election, and there's a lot of things going on, and you know, our part of the school system, Villa Rica, is like 38%, but we're really only 20% of the pie. So they need really good, strong representation. And I just decided, hey, it's time. So after consulting with my two bosses, my boss at McNeilus, Bob Monchamp, and then my wife, Marcia, to get their blessing on this, I just decided it's time to give back. And if the Lord sees fit on June the 9th and enough people see fit to put Kerry Miller in there, I'll be helping out there for the next 4 years. I think my business experience here, and I've had a number of different roles where I've led huge P&Ls, to my sales experience and my people experience there, along with my passion for Villa Rica and being transparent with them, I think serves well. And so with that, I look forward to it if that is what happens here in next week.
We'll certainly be watching with a lot of interest, Kerry. I would implore our members and their friends and family out in the West Georgia area who may be voters in Villa Rica to please remember to show up on June 9th and vote early. And vote for Miller. And anyway, we really enjoyed talking with you today, Kerry. We wish you the best of luck. If there's anything we can ever do for you as well, we certainly will be there for you. You've been there for us for a long time. I do know, checking the history books, no one's ever made the jump from local school board to governor, but you could be the first. Due time.
I think we're good in that area. So I will tell you, people have asked me about that. No, this is not my endeavor to, this is just my endeavor to get back in this role. So I don't see anything of that nature. Hey, you never know. But let me just say this one more thing about Georgia Ready Mix. I love the fact that they're always giving back. One of the things I failed to mention is the scholarships that they do every year, and that they're always plugging in for people to go back into our industry. And so if you're looking for a career, we're part of the concrete industry management stuff that goes on. We've got several universities. This is a great industry, and I'm proud that my company, McNeilus, we were one of the first ones, part of the foundation when it started, and we still are a big part of that today. But Georgia Ready Mix, huge supporter of that. So they're really looking to the future. And like I told you, all those guys that were mentors to me, maybe, just maybe, Kerry could convince somebody to join this great industry and hopefully maybe give a little back too. So it's a great industry. Jimmy, you do a great job. Thank you so much for the association.
Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, thank you for all you do too, Kerry, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. So take care, and we'll catch up after the election. Good luck.
Thank you. Bye now.